You are at Lake Rant, where I rant about whatever my $10 a month plus patrons want me to rant about. You can get one of these by being one of those. This one's for Ho-Ho, who says, rant about people who ask you to rant about their 3x3s and mal pages. Well, I gotta say, I love getting paid to do something as simple as look at someone's chart and just say words about it. I do think that, I wonder sometimes if people are just like, I think most of the time people just want me to talk about it because they don't really have another idea and they just think it would be fun. It's just like, hey, let's see what he has to say about my taste. Like, because I feel like a lot of people have to know that I've already covered a bunch of 3x3s that are similar to theirs. When I first started getting 3x3s, it was when, after I made my most boring tasted anime video, I started getting them in the mail. Like, when I would do Digi Gets Mail, I would get them all the time. And most of the lists I would get would be pretty much a bunch of shows that I love, like a bunch of shit that I already have in my favorites list. And so when I see stuff like that, I always think, well, either this is why you're a fan of me, or this is the result of being a fan of me. Like, either we just have the same taste, or you have so far mostly explored shows that I've talked about and enjoyed them for similar or, possibly dissimilar reasons. But when I get the ones that aren't exactly like my taste is the ones where I have to really think about it, and the more divergent, the more interesting. Because sometimes I see stuff where, you might send me a 3x3 and maybe it's not all shows I love, but it's all shows that are very well loved, that are very popular, that are, towards the top of the mal lists. And I think, okay, well, it's not that it still can be good taste, and it's usually good shows, but it usually says to me this person has not spent a lot of time watching things that weren't recommended to them. You haven't spent a lot of time watching stuff that you haven't heard talked about, that you haven't seen, openly praised in the anime community, which takes time. Like, I mean, obviously, there's enough stuff that is openly praised, and it can keep you occupied for years, and it will take a while before you get to a point where unless you, from the outset are just checking out whatever and you find really crazy, unique things you like Butthole Weeb is a good example of that, I think. I look at his list and there's no resemblance to another list because it's clear that whatever he likes about these shows is very particular. It's like this show, whatever it uniquely did reached him personally more so than just having like a broad appreciation for for shows that are good or shows that have good action or a cool art style. Like, there's not a rule. There's not a consistency. Like, even my list, I would say that there's almost rules. Like, my list, I don't feel as personally about my favorites as someone like him does. Where he's going around talking about how Gosek's the greatest anime of all time. Like, I've never even talked about like K-On! Or Ava in the way that he talks about Gosek, or the way that other people talk about those shows. I don't feel that kind of intense passion for individual anime. I'm more passionate about the whole of it and seeing what it can do and where it can take me emotionally. But there's no one show or set of shows that I'm like, this has something nothing else has, and it's the only thing I like. So yeah, the most interesting ones to me are the ones where it's really distinctive. But I understand why, even if you didn't have like a super memorable favorites list, it's still fun to just hear somebody address it in any way, especially if you just want to be a patron and you just need an idea for a rant, and this is a very easy one. I suspect some of these people are honestly just trying to give me easy stuff to do so I can fucking catch up on my rants since I've been, behind for months, but I have to thank them for it, because it's definitely very easy to do, and I have no complaints about that.